Kelly Ahuja, the CEO of Versa, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
What are the gaps, what are the roadblocks that you're seeing organizations running into when they're working on the zero trust deadline that's coming up on fiscal year 2027 is not too far away?
Well, actually, it's really interesting because zero trust, everyone thinks it's a box that they can buy and just deploy it. It's not, it's a framework. However, most of the environments today are legacy, they're fragmented, and they don't really have a unified platform to kind of stitch them all together. So that's fundamentally what's missing in the current and frameworks today in the zero trust approaches. Most of the other vendors will come and sell you a component of a zero trust framework. Then you'll have 10 other vendors come and sell you another 10. In some of the cases that we've run into, our partners and customers have over 30 different standalone products that they've had to try to stitch together to really comply to the zero trust framework. Luckily for us, we have a software platform that we built everything from ground up that does networking, zero trust network access, security, firewall, as well as many other things, CASB, DLP, all the components that you would require of zero trust, all in a single software stack. And you can put that stack everywhere you want. You can put it in the cloud if you have a cloud node, you can put it on your prem in a WAN node, or you can put it on a LAN if you have a switch. Now what that does is your perimeter is consistently secured with the same policy. So the policy travels with me, not my device, but with me. So if I take my device from a remote access to an on-prem access, the policy follows me, the posture follows me, and my behavior follows me. So if I'm doing something that I'm not supposed to, or my device is, because it's a malicious attack that's happened already, the network will detect that there's something that's gone on. The zero trust principles and the policy will say, hey, we're going to quarantine you. And that happens automatically. The whole thing about zero trust is not about the components that you take, but it's how you bring them together and automate and make it more dynamic so that you can detect the threats in real time and remediate them as close as possible that you can at the edges where you're going to be.
The word that I want to, actually now two words there that I want to key in on. The first one is automation and the second one is edge computing, because one of the points of every conversation I have with everybody, civilian or military in the Defense Department, and I'm starting to see it now in the civilian agencies too, especially law enforcement.
It is increasing rapidly
is
day by day.
Thinking about identity management in particular, but the zero trust concept, wherever that person is, wherever that person needs to access data or needs to send data to somebody else. And it strikes me that what you're talking about there is going to be maybe the key thing that either helps agencies get across the finish line in 2027 or prevents them from getting across.
And identity management is a critical area, right? Because you may come into one network where the identity management or Active Directory is done by one vendor, and you may go into a different one, it's a different one. So as a platform, you have to be able to work with different identity systems and be a broker, which is what we are, an identity broker. We can work with any identity manager, identity system, and bring that together into a unified policy for you, irrespective of which network, which access, which way you're coming into the network.
What are the questions that people at a conference like this should be asking, not just you, but anybody in there that they're talking to about their security postures that maybe they're not asking as often as they should?
You know, it's a great question, because what I find is everyone focuses on security posture from the access that they're in. Nobody looks at the security posture across all accesses. And that's where most of the gaps, the risks, and the adversaries kind of come in and exploit, because you've got a network posture if you're in the LAN, or if you've got a posture remote, if you're a remote user, you've got a posture there, or if you're in somewhere else in a corporate site, you've got a posture there. So it's in those gaps, if those are not built with a unified, consistent platform, but you're building them individually with bespoke stacks, that's where you get the gaps. And that's where the adversaries come in. So you've got to have a consistent posture, consistent policy enforcement, and a consistent framework across all those perimeters.
All right, 30 seconds left. How does somebody in the DoD measure whether they're on the right track, not just to hit deadlines, but to actually make their networks secure in a zero trust framework?
Well, I would say look at who's done it. DISA with Thunderdome has done it. I think they've got, you said Randy's coming tomorrow on the show. He's going to say that they've checked the boxes on all the 152 requirements for zero trust, which is great. And we're glad to be partnering with DISA on their approach on Thunderdome. So just look at what's been done, look at what's being deployed, and just repeat the same thing.
Kelly, it's great to have you here. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.